Hey Fish Fam, this is Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and I am here with my brother, and in preparation for Grand Prix Minneapolis, I've done enough testing with Simic Merfolk, and now it's time to try out Mono Blue Merfolk for some really good, accurate playtesting for the big event. If you want to see how Merfolk is played both in Simic and Mono Blue, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Before we get into our deck tech, we're going to thank our sponsors, first with the ManaBase.com, and with content ranging from MTG Arena Standard to Commander to Cube to Kitchen Tabletop. The ManaBase.com is your home base for everything Magic the Gathering. And the Magic Mastermind. The Magic Mastermind has pros to help coach you to achieve your MTG dreams. If you are ready to take your game to the next level, you're going to want to check out the Magic Mastermind. And I have new patrons supporting me on Patreon. Thank you all of you for your support, supporting the channel, and supporting competitive modern Merfolk content. So I'd like to start thanking Jasmine Loveflower. I'd like to thank Taylor Metz. And I'd like to thank Handsome Dan Loken. Thank all of you for supporting me on Patreon. So there's been some shifts with Modern. I'm not sure how big the shifts are. What I can say for certain is that I'm not playing against at nearly as many tier decks as I was before the Pro Tour, and a big explanation for that is that all the pros were preparing for the Pro Tour. They were filling the Modern leagues, and now the Pro Tour is over, and there is not as much of a necessity to be playing in any of to prepare for Modern at all. Therefore, they're having vacation, they're doing other things, and I'm not playing against nearly as many tier decks, but I'm not doing so well with Simic in the last few days. I'm not happy with my results. Some things are because maybe I'm not seeing enough artifact decks. Like, the great thing about Simic is Collector Oof just shuts down Tron, shuts down Eldrazi Tron, shuts down Affinity decks. I really love how Collector Oof works against them. Even though we do still see a little bit of that around. But another reason is that Burn and Mono Red Phoenix are some of the big winners somehow after the Modern Pro Tour. They are relatively well represented, I guess, because they have good Hogak matchups. They're in the position to race them, so they're not in such bad shape as other archetypes are. And honestly, like, Burn is difficult with the Simic Merfolk deck without Master of Waves. The 2 mana slot or the 2 drops, or the 2 mana cards like Searing Blood, Searing Blaze, Lightning Helix, they're backbreaking. Like, I don't care about Lightning Helix because you play the Master of Waves, and I'm on my way to kill you. So then there's nothing you can do about it. But like, Lightning Helix buys a lot of time if you're just playing with a Lord heavy list, and of course Chalice of the Void usually played on 1, not on 2, so it's not going to hit those cards. So what other problems I have? I'm still doing really well against Hogak, but I've another issue. Well, I guess we could get into the deck for today. So I'm not done with my Simic playtesting. I'm going to playtest it some more, maybe with some adaptations that I've made to this sort of list. But because of all those heavy red decks, cards like Waterlog Grove as a 4-of and Breeding Pool are very painful, huge liabilities in the Simic Merfolk deck. And if Burn and Mono Red Phoenix are some of the big winners, are going to be some of the bigger decks, like, it's going to be hard to justify the Simic deck over other things. So today we're going to try some Mono Blue. Now, we were BSing around with Cloudstone Curio before to make that like infinite mill combo with Marrow Wit Sniper. So if anyone doesn't know the combo, if we have Cloudstone Curio, by the way, if a permanent enters the battlefield, for us, we can return another permanent of the same type back to our hand. So if we play a creature, we can return another creature to our hand. If we play a land, we can return another land to our hand. If we play Spreading Seas, an enchantment, we can return another Spreading Seas back to our hand. So the deal with Cloudstone Curio is that if you have Mararegery in play, you can play the 1-mana creatures, Merfolk Sniper, which when it enters the battlefield, target player mills the top card of their deck into their graveyard. So they put the top card of their library into their graveyard, mills them for 1. So you mill them for 1, and you cast it for free because of the Merfolk, and then you just play another 1-drop, like Benthic Biomancer or another Wit Sniper, and you can return the other 1-drop to your hand, and then just keep playing them back and forth over and over again infinitely. And you keep milling them for 1, so you have an infinite mill combo. Now, this may sound really janky, and it sort of is, but it is still a combo win out of nowhere, which is sort of crappy online, trying to pull this combo off. I went 4-1 with, I can't remember if this is the exact list or something similar. So I think it's not the exact list, but I did pull off the combo. It took me like 16 minutes to do. So but you know, I've got some practice. I got some practice under my belt, so I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better this time around. But the combo is there. If we don't combo them out, we still have a normal, play a 1-drop on turn 1, play Lords on turn 2 and 3, and then just Lord them out. We still have that plan. That's the main plan. And it just randomly, we can get them with Cloudstone Curio. Now, I actually think Cloudstone Curio is a pretty amazing card in Modern Merfolk, because you get to recycle cards like Silvergill Adept, draw more cards. You get to recycle cards like Merfolk Trickster, tap things down almost every single turn. Cloudstone Curio, amazing combo with Aether Vial.
It's also enters the battlefield, not cast, so you can use it with Aether Vial.
That's right, it's enter the battle, so we can use it with Aether Vial. So it's really good to recycle cards over and over and over again with Aether Vial. You can recycle Benthic Biomancer, get more +1/+1 triggers. You recycle Silvergill Adept, more triggers there. Another really great efficient thing is if you need to buy time, you block with a creature, vial 1 in, return the creature back, and you don't take any damage. If you've got 2 Merfolk in play, what you can do is with 2 1-drops, you have infinite mana, because you can tap 2 lands for mana, play 1 creature, and then with 2 Regiris, you untap 2 lands. So you pay 1 mana, but you float 2, pay only 1, get to untap 2 lands, and then so you're always netting 1 mana. You get 1 extra mana than you spend. And with that, if you have Benthic Biomancer, if you create infinite mana, you can adapt this thing infinitely, because you keep returning Benthic Biomancer back to your hand and then replaying it, creating a fresh Benthic Biomancer. That can help dig through your deck for a
win conditions and everything.
Well, I guess Merfolk Sniper would be a win condition. So you get infinite. Yeah, you have infinite mana, infinite cards to get to Wit Sniper, which then eventually mills your opponent out. You can get a lot of draw triggers off of Silvergill Adept if you have... if you have 2 Merfolk in play and a 1-drop... you just need 2 Merfolk in play, Silvergill Adept, and another 2-drop, and you draw your entire deck with Cloudstone Curio out. So there's a lot of good stuff going for it. Now, let's talk about some other changes to the deck. First off, let's talk about some trends going on in Modern. Hogak, the biggest deck on the block right now, I'm still seeing it very often in leagues, which is a good thing. I think Merfolk is very well positioned against Hogak. We've got the tools, Trickster and Harbinger to tap it down. Even Echoing Truth is very strong. Bounce the Hogak back to their hand. What else do we have? If you have 2 Lords out, it makes it very difficult for them to attack into you. But one thing about Force of Negation, so I only have 2 in the main deck right now. This is experimentation. I don't know if this is the final verdict on Force of Negation, but I don't think it's as good as it used to be. So if you look at Hogak, they only have 4 spells they can even counter, which are Faithless Looting. A lot of the more important spells coming out of Burn or Mono Red Phoenix, they just play it on our turn, make it really awkward on Force of Negation. People are playing around Force of Negation really, really well. Now, I thought Force of Negation would be really good against Blue-White Control, and certainly the trophy leader online, Doom Switch, he has more trophies than anyone else, and playing Blue-White Control. But I'm actually not seeing enough blue-white control. Maybe blue-white control is hurting. Maybe you need to be a master to be playing blue-white control effectively in today's modern metagame. There wasn't even a blue-white control list that made the top 8 at the Mythic Championship. Maybe I'm overrating blue-white control and that we don't need so many forced negations in the main deck. Having multiple forced negations I think is very awkward against Jund. I don't know if it's worth having 4 in the main, is what I'm saying. And while I was suspecting this, I sort of got a little bit of confirmation. There was a Merfolk deck that played in a recent online event, like a big event, I don't know, like a Mythic Championship qualifier or something. I don't know what exactly it was. Maybe it was a Magic Online, just a Magic Online tournament. And the list made 27th place out of around 300 people. And they were playing with 2 forces in the main, and they put the other forces in the sideboard. So maybe that's just how it should be. To be honest, that list played 4 Spell Pierce in the main. So they were more high on counterspells than I have been. So I want to try to play with less forces and see how that works out. And then we just bring in the forces when it's going to be really, really good, like against Scapeshift, like against Blue-White Control, and so on. And I also think Force Negation is very good against Dredge, but I just see way more Hogak than I do against Dredge, because Force Negation can hit the Conflagrate and be done with the game. 2 Spreading Seas, like against Burn, it can be really so-so. It's good on the play, not so good on the draw. Against Mono Red Phoenix, I think it's real garbage. Blue-White Control, it's poor. I don't think it's super necessary against Hogak. So there's a lot of top decks where Spreading Seas is not good. Is it Phoenix? It's useless. So I don't mind splitting it, but I really need to. You still randomly face against an affinity deck where you need Island Walk to push through the damage. It's still good against Tron. Tron's still out there. We're gonna play against Tron for sure, and we need Spreading Seas against Tron. This Force Negation also good against Tron, but I don't know if I play against enough actual Tron for Spreading Seas to be necessary. Sorry, I don't think I play enough against enough Tron to have 4 Force Negation in the main deck. Spreading Sea is also very useful against Jund. Jund is... I don't know if it's doing well, but I mean, people are out there piloting it. Other trends that I want to talk about? I think Plague Engineer is moving down in numbers. When Modern Horizons came out, there were everyone was jamming 4 Plague Engineer. 4 Plague Engineer. You need all your Plague Engineers. We need more Plague Engineers over here. Get 4 of them. Yeah, and Phantasmal Image. Let's play more. They're reducing their numbers. Now I see it as 1 of and 2 of in the lists, in Humans, in Jund, in Black-Green X. Before they were going overboard, now there's less Plague Engineers, which means there is a lot more room to play Master of Waves. So we could see and Master of Waves would be very good right now with Burn and Mono Red Phoenix coming back up. And it's okay against Hogak. It's not amazing, not super important, but it's still something. So there might be room for 2. So I'm going to try to playtest this a little bit with Cloudstone Curio, but these 2 Cloudstone Curios certainly could be 2 Master of Waves in the list. But so let's talk about the sideboard. 2 more Echoing Truths. Bringing against Izzet Phoenix to bounce Thing in the Ice. Really good against Hogak. Very, very good. Basically my recipe for beating Hogak is just bounce their stuff. They spend all this work to get all these Vengevines in play and this Hogak. Okay, let's just bounce it all back to your hand and deal with it. Just deal with it. It's better in their graveyard than in their hand. Let me tell you that. We have 2 more Spreading Seasons for all the matchups we need. 3 Deprive. I'm not super thrilled with Deprive. A little bit clunky against Tron. I love it against Blue-White Control, but I'm just not facing it. Don't know what to say. Deprive could be something else. Maybe Phyrexian Revoker. But I do want some number of counter spells still in the deck. Good. I mean, it's good against Burn. I still like Deprive against Burn. 2 Force Negation. 4 Grafdigger's Cage. Do you know what? I don't want to BS against Hogak. It's still a powerful deck. Even if this is considered a tempo card, let's force them to spend some time to remove it before they can get their game plan on. And do you know what? I've had a lot of games where they just don't have an answer to Grafdigger's Cage, and they just basically can't really get their game going the way they want to, as explosive as they can. So we're going to play with 4 Grafdigger's Cage. And 2 Chalice of the Void, like the decks that hurt, things like Mono Red Phoenix, Izzet Phoenix, they are out there. But you know what? I don't think there's enough of them out there to justify 4 of Chalice of the Void, so I might be seeing myself play less Chalices in both the Simic Merfolk deck and the mono blue version. Chalice, I really like Chalice. However, it's just not. There's not enough. There's not enough of the decks to justify the full 4. You could if you know your metagame very well, and that there's like a lot of Mono Red Phoenix. I think that's a really bad matchup. I think Mono Red Phoenix is a really bad matchup. I don't care what people say. That matchup's awful. It's just awful. It's awful in all sorts of ways. But anyway, this is... Oh, maybe we just talk about there's one Fairy Conclave in the sideboard. And I'm only playing 2 of these lands. I think in the mono blue version, that's a little bit more patient, takes more time. We're going to be dirtling more with our mana. I don't want to play with so many Horizon lands. I'm actually just going to be on 2. I think for mono blue, it's 2. For Simic, it's 4. They put more pressure. They have more room to sacrifice life total to put the pressure on the opponent to win the game really quickly. I'm only going to play 2 in this list. And we're going to play with 1 Fairy Conclave because it's... I always found that the 20th land slot is free. So let's just play an extra man land, help us against the attrition-based decks. And maybe, Plague Engineer if it shows up. I don't really have anything else to say about the other cards. Let's just hope it does well. Let's go play in our Modern League. So we won the die roll, which is good. Something I've been running pretty bad with is I have to mulligan pretty often when I'm on the play. I'm not even on the play very often, but when I am, I have to mulligan. And then I can get some crap hand like... Well, this is a good hand. I'm going to dump one of the Ether Vials. This is a good hand. I'm not going to lie. I'm satisfied. We're going to recover from our mulligan with the Silver Gill Adept.
Well, in theory.
Search from tomorrow. Alright, so we're up against Scapeshift. Game 1, we only have 2 counter spools, so this is like one of the few matchups where we want our Force of Negations. No, Spring Seas is useless in this matchup. That's not bad. That's not bad. That puts more pressure on the board. We might force our opponent to show us a... what's it called really quickly? Anger the Gods. Which they might have tons of. Oh, is this 5-color Scapeshift? Okay. I don't know how likely they're going to have... This is 5-color Bring to Light. Which also means... Let's see, what's going to happen here? Okay, I'll attack for 5. So they can't play Bring to Light next turn, but what I can... Because when you play Bring to Light, they can find a sweeper. So what I can do, though, is they're going to sacrifice Tribe Elder. They're going to find a land. They're going to play land for their turn. They have at least 4 mana. And if they pass the turn with 4 mana, what we can do is Merfolk Trickster at their upkeep. Oh, God. They're going to play Dead of Night. That could be a possibility. Oh, I forgot about Search for Tomorrow. So they're going to have... They're just going to have 5 mana right now. So they can... This is 5-color Snow Shift, I guess. Please don't let anything bad happen to me. How much should we attack for next turn? Just 11? At best? Unless I draw a Lord? Something bad's happening here.
Well, maybe.
Play Secure Tribe. Oh, this thing. Okay, that's fine. That's good to know. I haven't really looked at the 5-color Snow Shift deck. Flash Flying, when enters the battlefield, draw a card, does Death Touch as long as you control at least 3 other snow-covered permanents. You have 2. You can get the 3rd? Don't play in Dead of Night. I think it's called In Dead of Night. Okay, just a scout.
Just a regular old piece of shit.
Basically.
This is a lock, Jerry.
So if we draw a Lord, we're very likely to win. They left the snow-covered swamp up. So I'll play the Trickster, and we will attempt to find an Island Walk Lord for victory.
2 shots.
Yes, because of the Benthic Biomancer.
Good. Please.
Please.
I got another... Oh, no, you don't.
No, I do. I got another shot. But what's important here?
It's black. Fatal Push.
Well, if they got Fatal Push, they got Fatal Push. I can't do anything about this. But there's nothing else weak on the battlefield, so maybe Fatal Push. Sorry, maybe the black mana is just the right one to take anyway.
Come on, you got so many.
That's so many lords.
You have 8. But it's a lot.
Boom! Yeah! There we go. That's the magic of Merfolk. It's also the magic of being on the play.
It's just magic.
We had 3 draws. We got there.
2.
There's some justice in this world. Justice for Merfolk.
People in the city used to believe in something.
Yeah. So I think actually this is one of the rare... I don't know about rare, but like I think because the matchup goes slow, Cloudstone Curio is where you want to be. I actually don't know exactly what the sideboard plan is for Cloudstone Curio, to be honest. I just don't. So good cards in this matchup, just the counter spells. We don't need... I think in this version we don't need Spreading Seas at all. Harbinger is not good. Echoing Truth is not good. Well, if we're taking out so many things, I have to bring in something else. Something's got to come back. I guess a Harbinger. Yeah, this is a 5-color Scapeshift deck, so you don't have to worry about Primeval Titan. I think we should be heavily favored. And the Cloudstone Curio can help. Like, they have sweepers, so it might help, like, replace Merfolk Trickster, bring back Silvergill Adept. Yeah, I think, but this is where we're going to be, where we want to be. So that worked out pretty well. We had a pretty aggressive start. We got all our lords. Being Lord Heavy is good. This is, like, it's nice, but we just can't curve out. There's no guarantee that we're curving out.
No! I don't know anything.
Yeah, you don't. Like, there's a lot of good things going for this hand. We have a Merfolk Trickster, which combos really well with Deprive, so we can play, like, 2 creatures, get some good pressure going.
What if you drew a second land?
It would be great, but there's no guarantee of that. But it's a good hand with Force Negation. What if I did draw a second land?
Just start rolling them out. Boom, boom, boom.
So, yeah. I'm just going to mulligan it. Well, this got worse. Why is this happening to me? Like, why is this happening to me? I'm mulliganing. I feel like I'm running horrible online. So bad. I shuffled my deck, my paper deck. I'm like, why am I mulliganing so much? Is this really, is the mulligan frequency this high? And I set out a bunch of hands on the table, and only 1 out of 10 were unplayable. Like, I would have to mulligan it. But I'm mulliganing at an incredibly high rate online. And at first I thought it was just the die rolls, and now it's the mulligans.
Which is a variance.
Well, it's screwing up with my... I'm going to put the snow-covered lands on the bottom. We're going to keep the Waterlogged Grove because we need the... Even though this is Scapeshift, I think we need the extra card. Or we're going to need the extra card somewhere down the line. Our opponent kept a nice fresh 7 cards. Good for them. Arkham's Astroblade, sure. Very likely I'm going to go like Lord into Rajiri if I draw land, and then start holding up Trickster and Force Negation. If we can get that 3rd land, that would be good. Like Lord, Mirror Rajiri, and Trickster with Force Negation backup. Can survive 1 sweeper. This isn't too bad. Playing Silvergill Adept first, followed by Lord of Atlantis. You have to watch out for that stupid Fang card because it has Death Touch. If they have 3 or more snow-covered permanents, which they will now, the Astroblade counts. They got the island, so that helps me. So our opponent can play in Dead of Night.
Nobody plays no snow. Now it's snow everywhere.
Yeah, snow wasn't popular until now. Maelstrom Pulse. Okay. Not really willing to defend against that. More Force Negations, that's nice. Keep showing the Lord of Atlantis. Rajiri's nice. Like, Lords are good. Lords are nice. You just put a few creatures on the battlefield and boom, you're in business.
Play something stupid, come on.
Something big. Vraska, Golgari Queen.
Say
Okay,
no.
let's... Oh, I was definitely going to say no. Screw this card. Get rid of one Rajiri, I guess.
Stay low to the ground.
Because I'm not guaranteed the mana yet. Maybe one day, but not today.
Land.
Awkward.
But it works.
It will next turn. I should read that. I don't even know what Golgari Queen does. I'm snap countering this. Can sacrifice another permanent. If you do, gain a life and draw a card. No, we're not doing that. Destroy target non-land permanent with confirmed mana cost 3 or less. No, we're not letting that happen. And you get an emblem with whenever a creature you control deals damage to a player, that player loses the game. Holy crap. Huntmaster of the Fells. That is annoying as hell.
This guy keeps flipping, right?
Yes.
Well, you got answers.
I have pretty good answers, actually, because I do have the Rajiri. Okay, I have Rajiri, and I also have Trickster, so let's say they kill the Rajiri, and they pass, hoping to kill Lord of Atlantis. At my upkeep, I can Trickster this thing.
Just shuts it down.
And it will flip, but it won't do anything. And I also have the option to force negation. Anything. Well, they will pass. They can't kill it. They have to kill something at my upkeep first. A little tempted to attack with the Lord of Atlantis, but I guess I won't. Just to get rid of a Huntmaster of the Fells.
Alright, come on. Tap out for an enchantment or something.
Do it. Do it. Well,
Hey,
they're probably not going to do. Well, I don't know. I guess they will do something.
Oh, stupid planeswalker. Come on. Ren and 6.
Who knows? Why not?
You say no.
No, I'm not. I want to say no to the Scapeshift. I want to say no to the Bring to Light card, which
Say no
lets
to-
them cast anything in their library equal to the number of base land types that they have.
Say no to drugs.
Say no to Huntmasters. That's not too bad.
Master of the Fjord.
So, like, what's going on here? Do you have, like, Abrupt Decay or something? How much can I attack for? I can attack for 10 here, which is quite a bit. Because I can play a Merfolk Trickster, then with the Rajiri's trigger, tap something, and then Trickster actually just makes the other thing lose abilities. So how about this? We're going to attack for... we're going to attack for 7, and then if they try to do any shenanigans in combat, like Abrupt Decay, they could have Abrupt Decay, we're going to Trickster.
Here we go.
And, oh, Assassin's Trophy.
No point. Say no.
Let's see.
Oh, but it's your turn. Shoot. Yeah. You gotta pay.
I'll be attacking...
He only has one card in hand.
I can attack for... So I'm thinking about playing the Trickster, tapping these things down. I don't really want to play the Force of Negation. I know they have only one card in hand, but they'll have 2, and I really don't want to lose. I think I can beat this Huntmaster of the Fells between Tricksters and a Merfolk, is what I think.
Alright.
That's
the
what I
safe
want to
thing.
do.
That's the safe thing.
So
Alright,
we'll tap Wolfie down. And I will let this resolve, and I can dig a card deeper with Waterlog Growth. So even if they pass the turn next turn, it's fine. Unless they Abrupt Decay the Merfolk, then we're in some trouble. So no blockers. Actually, it might be fine. I can Force of Negation anything on my turn, and then play Trickster. Yeah, so this works. They take 5. And we are threatening 8 damage next turn. Or more. We have the Fairy Conclave. I forgot about that. So Huntmaster still not flipping.
Flip.
And now they might be tempted to just pass. That might be just what they do.
Or resign. 3, 2.
Would you like to resign?
1. Oh, he's going big.
Yeah, they're going for it. You gonna go for it? You're gonna go for it? I saved the force negation just for this moment.
This moment.
Yeah, they're going for something. Yeah, bring to light, so.
Sorry, bitch.
That's why we are not... No. I want to do it the old-fashioned way.
Green doesn't have counter spells.
No, that's not true. They have one right now. It's called... It's like... do you know what? It's not a counter spell, but it's like a counter to counters. And it's very good. They're probably playing it. It's called... shit, I don't know what it's called.
Fog.
But it's a green... It's actually a really good card. It's 1 green mana. It's an instant. If your opponent played a blue or black spell this turn, you draw a card, and your creatures have hexproof until end of turn. And what else? Your creatures have hexproof, and your cards are uncounterable.
He's done.
Yeah.
Easy game.
Easy game. That was an easy sweep against Scapeshift. You probably... I don't think game 1 is favorable. We just happened to rip the Lord. We had a good curve, and we ripped the Lord in time. However, well, I think if you have like 4 Force of Negation in the main, probably it's like really good. But I think like post board, we have so many counter spells. Like there's no way this could... We're too big to fail. Too big to fail. Although I didn't see Huntmaster of the Fells coming. This is a very dangerous card in a deck that sort of tries to play like a control deck. This would be... I think this is a really good choice in their deck. This is very scary, but whatever. Didn't work out for them, worked out for us. But anyway, that's going to be our match for today. We're going to thank all my patrons for supporting me on Patreon. We're also going to thank our sponsors, themanabase.com and the Magic Mastermind. This has been Nikachu with his brother, playing with Mono Blue Merfolk in Modern.